Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 This is Srimad Bhagavatam 7, Canto Chapter 7, Text 12. Tato me mataram rishihi samaniya nijashrame ashvasye hoshyatam ashvasye hoshyatam vatse yavat te Bhartur agamaha tato me mataram rishi samaniya nijashrame ashvasye hoshyatam vaste ashvasye hoshyatam vatse yavate Bhartur agamaha tato me mataram rishi samaniya nijashrame ashvasye hoshyatam vatse yavate Bhartur agamaha
Tato me mataram rishi samaniya nijashrame ashvasye hoshyatam vatse yavate Bhartur agamaha
Tato me mataram rishi samaniya nijashrame ashvasye hoshyatam vatse yavate Bhartur agamaha
Tato me mataram rishi samaniya nijashrame ashvasye hoshyatam vatse yavate Bhartur agamaha
Tataha thereafter me my mataram mother Rishi the great saint Narada Rishi samaniya bringing Nija ashrame to his own ashrama ashvasya giving her assurance iha here ushyatam stay vatse my dear child yavat until te you are Bhartuhu of the husband agamaha they're coming. Translation. Prahlad Maharaj continued, the great saint Narada Muni brought my mother to his ashrama and assured her of all protection, saying, my dear child, please remain at my ashrama until the arrival of your husband. Tatheti yavatsit yavarshar antikisabtu bayam yavataityapatir ghorat tapaso nanyavartata. After accepting the instructions of Devashin Narada, my mother stayed in his care without fear from any direction, as long as my father, the king of the Daityas, had not become free from his severe austerities. Rishim Paryochara Tatra Bhaktya Paramaya Sati Antarvatni Svagarbhasya Kshimayikcha Prasutaye. My mother, being pregnant, desired the safety of her embryo and desired to give birth after her husband's arrival. Thus she stayed at Narada Muni's ashram, where she rendered service unto Narada Muni with great devotion. It is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Matra Swastra Duhitrava Naviviktasano Bhavit Balavanindriya Gramo Vidvam San Apikarshati. One should not remain in a secluded place with a woman, even one's own mother, sister, or daughter. Nonetheless, also one is strictly prohibited from staying with a woman in a secluded place. Narada Muni gave shelter to Prahlad Maharaj's young mother, who rendered service to him with great devotion and faith. Does this mean that Narada Muni transgressed the Vedic injunctions? Certainly he did not. Such injunctions are intended for mundane creatures. But Narada Muni is a transcendental to mundane categories. Narada Muni is a great saint and is transcendentally situated. Therefore, also he was a young man, he could give shelter to a young woman except her service. Haridas Thakur also spoke with a young woman, a prostitute, in the dead of night, but the woman could not deviate his mind. Instead, she became a Vaishnavi, a pure devotee by the benediction of Haridas Thakur. Ordinary persons, however, should not imitate such highly elevated devotees. Ordinary persons must strictly observe the rules and regulations by staying aloof from association of women. No one should imitate Narada Muni or Haridas Thakur. It is said, Vaishnavera Kriyamudra Vigyena Mujai. Even if a man is very advanced in learning, he cannot understand the behavior of a Vaishnava. Anyone can take shelter of a pure Vaishnava without fear. Therefore, in the previous verses, we distinctly said, Devarshiyartike Sakuto Bhaya. Kayadhu, the mother of Prahlad Maharaj, stayed under the protection of Narada Muni without fear from any direction. Similarly, Narada Muni in his transcendental position stayed with a young woman without fear of deviation. Narada Muni, Haridas Thakur, and similar acharyas, especially empowered to broadcast the glories of the Lord, cannot be brought down to the material platform. Therefore, one is strictly forbidden to think that the acharya is an ordinary human being. Gurushu Naramati. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinavane Namaste Saraswati Devam Guravani Pracharya Vishesha Shmevali Prashkati Vidata. Prahlad Maharaj continued, the great saint Narada Muni brought my mother to his ashrama and assured her of all protection, saying, my dear child, please remain at my ashrama until the arrival of your husband. After accepting the instructions of Devashi Narada, my mother stayed in his care without fear from any direction, as long as my father, the king of the Daityas, had not become free from his severe austerities. My mother, being pregnant, desired the safety of her embryo and desired to give birth after her husband's arrival. Thus she stayed at Narada Muni's ashrama, when she rendered service unto Narada Muni with great devotion. So this is clearly explaining by Srila Prabhupada that, as in other instances in Bhagavatam, one should not think one can simply copy the behavior of such a personalities as Narada Muni or Haridas Thakur. So Narada Muni, actually what makes the difference between these personalities and ordinary living beings, that they have a different purpose, which is hidden to the mundane eye in the beginning, but actually they have a purpose. Like Narada Muni, we know through the whole Bhagavatam, he's like the master of the ceremonies. He's going like a red line through the whole Bhagavatam, introducing different events. Sometimes on the side of the demons, sometimes on the side of the demigods, sometimes on the side of the devotees. Only a completely transcendental person can do that. Therefore it is stated that actually a pure devotee has no real enemies. That doesn't mean somebody wants to become his enemy, but he doesn't accept any enemies in that sense. He sees everything as being conducted perfectly under Krishna's direction. That's actually Uttama Adhikari. So Narada Muni, of course, he can even switch from Uttama Adhikari to Madhyama Adhikari, not to Kanishta. But he can switch between these two categories. Pure devotees do that, because if they would remain in a Uttama Adhikari position, they couldn't preach. There's no need to preach. They see everything and everybody connected to Krishna already, acting under his direction, either under the external energy or internal energy. Everybody is somewhat already connected, that's a fact. But a preacher is somebody who will go out and discriminate. No, he is in Maya, he has to be rescued from Maya. And that's actually Madhyamadikari platform, which as a part of his pastime, you could say, Uttama Adhikari will accept. So he can actually relate in a seemingly, sometimes even mundane way, to conditioned souls. So that's of course a great challenge. How many preachers is already falling down because of taking too great risk, especially in Kali Yuga, where there is no cultural frame for accepting a spiritual master. Nobody knows by culture what is a spiritual master and disciple. We have to practically start from zero. A culture is completely unknown to us. Culture means that you accept an authority. Just the fact to accept authority, we saw it yesterday by this gentleman who was visiting, that was completely out of range of his understanding. It's all relative. Why should I accept anything authority? You say, I say. He sings, they sing. He writes, they write. Yeah, somebody wrote this here, so what? Somebody can write something else. So what? It's all, circumstantial. It's all relative. It's all, what did he mention?
Assumptions?
Assumptions, different collection of assumptions. He assumes it's like this, I assume it's like that. We assume, and we just share the assumptions. It could be like that, isn't it? Could be also like that, isn't it? But the man was so poorly equipped, he couldn't even understand when I told him that he's working this speculation with the help of his brain. Yes, and he said, this is my brain, yeah. And I said, well, you just said this is my brain, who is you? You said, just said this is my brain, then who is you? I took him a few seconds even to grasp the meaning why I'm asking this. And he said, well, I guess then I'm nothing. It's just the brain functioning, and I told him, you are operated by nothing. Then why we have this conversation? When there's nothing generated your brain, and the brain is somewhat acting by, accidental way, by something. It's just nonsense, immediately nonsense. So we are not talking here about religion, not just logic. Who is operating your brain? Nobody. Oh, real. So why are you talking? Why are we even using? Where does this come from? It's just suddenly completely blanked out. And they keep on talking, that's the worst. They just keep on mumbling and rolling on and mumbling and rolling on. So anyway, back to the point that Narada Muni is exemplary in all regards, because he has a purpose. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said, yes, even a brahmachari can associate with a woman, but for important purpose, which was clearly defined for the purpose of preaching. And that's the risk Prabhupada took. And he actually said it quite openly even to his servants and to sannyasi especially, sannyasi talk. He said, I have to be very cautious, even I can fall down. The chance is always there, because the mind never stops. To the point of death, it never stops imagining things. Because this whole falling down business is about imagination. You project expectations towards others. Oh, that would be really something to enjoy. Oh, that's ideal. Oh, that's nice. And usually in a case of devotee, Krishna is so nice, he arranges that you get the real picture very fast. Oh, this is not so nice. Sometimes in 1 day, sometimes in 3 days, sometimes in 3 weeks. But you realize this is absolutely not corresponding to my imaginations. I thought there will be something else. We don't want to go now in detail, there's no need. I think there's people in this room who are 1,000 times more experienced as me to know how it really looks like. As one Smita Krishna Swami once he said to a young Grihastha, to somebody who was attempting to enter Grihastha ashram, he said, I hope you are lucky. I hope your wife is not snoring. It was so simply and purely said, you know. He can serve really as an example for that. I was once in a school program with him, and that's where you get all the time these questions, you know. You can speak whatever you want in a school program. In Sweden, we went through many school programs, and the question is always the same. You know, what about sex life? Do you have sex life? You know, you didn't say anything about that, but the question comes guaranteed. It's usually coming from females. And then I always had a problem with meeting Krishna Swami. We did few school programs, traveling actually, visiting schools, but I always had a problem. You know, he can easily look exhausted. So, you know, so his body is not very strong. You know, we know that. So I was always like, you know, and then sometimes, you know, I noticed that, you know, when the question and answer session was going on, it was getting longer. You know, so he was just going, you know, he started to fall asleep. And then, you know, and then there was, I remember that one school program, there was this girl and she insisted to know things about sex life from him. You know, and I was just a new Grihastha basically, I was just newly married. And then she was just punching the questions one out. Yeah, but what about the sex life? And I noticed he's starting falling asleep. And then, he always pointed to me, he can answer this. But this girl insisted to ask him. So I had to wake him up vocabulary, you know, after a little bit. She's asking. He like woke up and he said, what about sex life? And he kind of in a half-tired state, he said, that I make a job big. And then he started to fall asleep again. You know, yeah. I couldn't believe this. It was so real, you know. He just kind of, just to get him interested in that issue was really hard to work. And then he finally woke up, he said, oh, that's too much work. And then he started to fall asleep again. There was no more questions, you know. It was so convincing. I just started to laugh. The girl really realized these people fall asleep when they talk about sex life, which normally really doesn't happen. That issue is always waking everybody up. Positively or negatively, it doesn't matter. But everybody wakes up. No, he started to fall asleep, really. It was completely passing him by. You know, because it was just, couldn't accommodate that. Why is it so important? Why they ask about that? You know. So this is actually, you know, this is the position of a devotee. It doesn't have, we don't have to accommodate this issue so heavily. You know, of course we know everything is turning around in this world. Even the crows are jumping around, you know, and singing all the time. I just saw, you know, today's two cats conversing about sex life. It took them half an hour, you know. You ever saw cats conversing about sex life? They are intense like hell. They stand next to each other and he goes, oh, wang, 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 wang. And then she goes, and he goes, oh, wang, 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 wang. You know, they have to have this incredible introduction there, you know. Yeah, and then when they have sex life, they just bite each other. It's brutal, you know. You know, and then, but the introduction is just ridiculous. You think, what are they? But sometimes it goes the whole night. Fortunately, they have it only like 1-2 times a year. So people throw bottles on them at night. I want to sleep, shut up! You know, just to, you know, because they can disturb, the whole night is disturbed by this. And you have a whole city full of cats like this, you know. They all go at once, you know. It's just wow, 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 wow. And they sound really like talking babies. It's too much. So it's such an important issue, is it? Really. So, you can see, Narada Muni had a purpose here. he played a role. That means the survival of prahlad. That was the important thing. Accommodation actually, there's no need even to, actually it's a crime to kill women for no purpose. It's a crime, absolute, it's a heavy crime. The whole battle of Kurukshetra was fought mainly for one reason, that they touched the hair of a woman. So it's a severe thing. To attack a chaste woman is a severe reaction to it. Whole nation can get destroyed because of that. But in this case, the purpose was even much more bigger. The demigods would never threaten, Hiranyakashipu's wife if she wouldn't be pregnant. But they assumed, in normal case, it should be like that such a big demon, while his wife will give birth to even a maybe bigger demon. Why not? So Narada Muni was there for the purpose to prevent that. And by the way, because he's a preacher, so he was preaching to her. But it is described, Prabhupada comments, her consciousness was not at all into receiving some lectures. She was completely focused on the baby, on the embryo already. Totally embryo conscious. And you have to be. This is part of motherhood. You must be 100% embryo conscious. Sorry, but this is how it is. Men don't understand. You will never understand what it means. There's somebody living in you, And he's becoming more and more, playing football and this and that. And it's just imagine, a man would never tolerate such a situation. And especially because when you go to sleep, the baby gets nervous. Hey, it's so quiet here, what happened? So it starts to move. And when the mother is moving, the baby sleeps peacefully. So it's exactly opposite, So the mother can never sleep, really. There's somebody kicking you from inside all the time. They stretch, Looks terrifying here. It's a big belly and then suddenly, Just imagine somebody will do this to you. You have just few damn gases going around here already disturbed. What to speak of a whole baby going around. And it's eating you too. And it's eating from you, drinking from you, and that's it. But you have to be equipped for that. You have to be 100% baby conscious. And that's what it is. Female body is designed for that. I had once I was standing with Bhakti Vikas in a festival and my daughter was this big. And she always saw a baby here, a baby there, there's a baby here, there's babies in a festival. I remember there was a trolley standing there. She could barely reach the handle of the trolley with the baby, and she only tried to push the trolley because they like puppets. So the guy just punched me and said, "You look at this. She's not even ready for this. Sex life is not developed, but the mind is already there, pushing baby, pushing." This is all pre-programmed. And we don't deny these programs in Krishna consciousness. Why should we? We cannot anyway, such a powerful force. So we have to be also vain in our preaching. It's just a little point aside. What do we really interpret into our preaching? Be careful with that. You can interpret your desires into preaching. And that will not meet always a positive response. Like you look for a friend, then you preach. And you become friend, and that immediately compromise your preaching. Why? Because you don't want to lose the friend. You become attached. So you don't preach to people, you start to adopt people. This is for both men and women. And that already creates a bodily compromised situation. But the position of a spiritual teacher is amazing, because you have to be actually loving, but in a spiritual way. As soon as you start to go in a material way, then there will be problems. People will feel either attached to you in a physical sense, or they will be not attached to you, they will be repulsing you. Oh, you are too dominating, you are too possessing. No. So this will be all visible in the preaching line. Even you actually mean just to introduce them to Krishna consciousness, the coloring is there, and they will notice that. People will notice that. And then there is those who demand to be accepted physically and mentally. No, you don't understand, you don't love me, because you have to present me Krishna consciousness so I like it. I have to feel comfortable with that. So what about sex life in Krishna consciousness? In Krishna consciousness. Everything is in Krishna consciousness, everything is for Krishna. And they will dictate the agenda on you. Happens to all gurus. Or any manager already exposed to that. What to speak of being a spiritual master? You will be exposed to that. Therefore, one has to be very, very alert. Because instead of you guiding them, they will start to guide you. Especially when they are of a Shudra quality. The more comfortable they will feel, the more they will want you to manage the party. Hey, it's nice, you make me so relaxed. Because Shudra will try immediately to turn spiritual happiness into material happiness. He will accept it in a material way. Hey, I feel good, it's a good food, we are dancing here together. I have finally some friends, we are really good, isn't it? And then the whole thing becomes mundane. And suddenly, out of that whole spiritual ecstasy, material scandals appear. Just material things appear. You think, how is that possible? We are all chanting happily, and then love affair. We are all chanting happily, and then something else totally mundane happens. What is this? So it's a challenge to any preacher and any spirit.